state of them all, and I'm going to give you the complete national picture one by one. This is what our poll surveys are saying. Let's tell you the numbers that first we are giving for the state of Uttar Pradesh. These are the big numbers that we are giving in the India Today exit poll for the state of UP. Total seats 403. The BJP 251 to 279, which is the biggest win any party would have in UP since the Congress won in 1985. Huge win predicted there for the BJP. Samajwadi Party Congress alliance looks like UP ko ye saath pasand nahi hai. 88 to 112 as per our survey. And remember, it's only a survey. It's not the final result. The BSP 28 to 42. No wonder Mayawati is looking glum in that picture. She might look even more glum if these numbers turn out to be true. And others who in UP include parties like the Rashtriya Lok Dal, just 6 to 16. So clearly the BJP is emerging major. And look at this, tough fight 50. Now assume if in this tough fight even half go to the BJP, which is competing virtually everywhere across UP, they could even touch close to 300. Virendra Sehwag will be joined in the triple century club by the BJP. Let's take a look then at what is happening in the other states. UP, of course, is the one big gain. But Punjab, it's a complete reverse picture. And here, it's Congress versus Aam Aadmi Party. 117 seats as per the India Today Axis poll, 42 to 51 are what we are predicting for AAP. What are we predicting for the BJP and the Congress? The Congress 62 to 71. So it's the Congress here which could be getting a majority. The one smile that Rahul Gandhi can give himself today. And the Shiromani Akali Dal BJP down 4 to 7, decimated here in Punjab. Others 0 to 2. These numbers then, and I would say personally, these numbers could become even tighter. Punjab is to be watched. Who knows? That battle between AAP and Congress could get tighter. A hung assembly could also be possible. Punjab is pregnant with possibilities, but for now, Amrinder Singh can have whiskey on the rocks tonight. Let's take a look at what's happening in the next state. He likes his whiskey, I promise you. Uttarakhand exit poll. This is what we are predicting in the state of Uttarakhand. Governments have changed here every 5 years. The BJP, out of the 70 seats, 46 to 53. So the BJP is in pole position in Uttarakhand. The Congress, 5 years in power, could be suffering for the mismanagement, particularly in the first 3 years, and charges of corruption and worse. The BSP, once seen to be a rising force, down to 1 to 2. Others 1 to 4. Independents do play a role in Uttarakhand, but possibly not this time. BJP poised to return to power as per our poll in Uttarakhand. Let's take a look at Goa. This is what we are predicting for Goa. Exit poll of Goa shows at the moment of the 40 seats on offer, it's the BJP again, which was in power in Goa, could retain power 18 to 22, just around the halfway mark. The Congress, which was hoping to make a comeback, 9 to 13. Now this could get closer because the margins in a small state like Goa can fluctuate. But the Aam Aadmi Party and the smaller parties not making an impact. 0 to 2 to Arvind Kejriwal. The Maharashtravadi Gomantak Party alliance with the Shiv Sena and a breakaway faction of the RSS, 3 to 6. And they could join with the BJP once again post-elections. 1 to 3 others. So advantage to the BJP in my home state. And unless they all come together, I will not become the chief minister of that state ever. Let's take a look at what happens in the next state, which is on offer, Manipur, where we have an exit poll for you. And this is what the Manipur exit poll is saying. 60 seats on offer. 16 to 22 is the BJP, which is making a mark in Manipur really for the first time. Was hoping possibly to do better. But the Congress, as per our exit poll, Ibobi Singh is the one driving Rahul Gandhi there. Northeast, the best place to be a congressman today. 30 to 36 for the Congress. That's wrong. I should change that. By now, our producers should have changed that to Trinamool Congress 3 to 5, not BSP, and others 3 to 6. So it's not Mayawati. No, she hasn't reached Manipur as yet. That is Mamta Banerjee. And Ms. Banerjee, we apologize for that. NPF is the other party which hopes to make some gains in Manipur. So the big national picture is that today the Bharatiya Janata Party could have reason to smile. Of course, we will know the results on the 11th. But just enough time also to introduce my panelists first. Sandeep Shastri, the man who, along with Lokriti, invented a lot of the election psephology. Pro Vice Chancellor, Jain University, Bengaluru. Surjit Bhalla, the angry young man of polling and likes to put his neck on the line, has predicted a BJP victory, but I beat him to it this time a week earlier than him. Manisha Priyam, political scientist joining me who's been tracking these states for us very, very closely. Raj Chengappa, Editorial Director, India Today. Pleasure having you. Raj was in Punjab for several years, knows the state very well. Sharat Pradhan, UP's preeminent journalist, someone who's tracked UP politics for decades now. Dipankar Gupta, political sociologist, has written extensively on caste and several issues. And Javed Ansari, the homegrown, the Ghazipur ka beta, who's here joining us on the program, executive editor at India Today, knows the state again like the back of his hand. Thank you all very much. The state of Uttar Pradesh, just as I know Goa. So I know the small state, he knows the big one. Now you know the difference between Javed and me. But gentlemen, ladies, tell me what the big picture is emerging. I'll go to the politicians later, but I want to first come to you all. One quick 30-seconder from each of you. What is the big picture, the biggest takeaway from what you've seen so far from these numbers?
The exit poll, I think that the opinion polls and exit polls we have shown clearly indicate that there is a majority towards a particular party. You don't seem to have too many hung assemblies. I agree with the trends, save of course in UP, which of course is the most important, where I believe the difference between the first and second party is much narrower than what we predict.
And that could make all the difference to anyone's takeaway. But Surjit Bhalla, the big takeaway, because you said at the start of this evening that whatever happens on 11th will be a referendum on Mr. Modi and on demonetization. Yeah. From that point of view, if these numbers hold, will it be a big positive for the Prime Minister? He will be in pole position to become Prime Minister again in 2019.
Absolutely. So, you know, I didn't know the numbers, etc. when we started the show. I stick by that. I think in my travels in UP, this is what came out, that the people were very much in support of Modi, the leader, not the BJP. BJP is not mentioned, but Modi is mentioned. And they believe that he is a man of action and that he is doing whatever he is doing for the good of the country. So this is what, and the demonetization, which we discussed at length throughout that week, the poor people admit they have been hurt, absolutely, but then they say this will mean something good down the road.
We'll wait and see what happens down the road. Kal kisne dekha hai? Manisha Priyam, quick response.
So this is my
your big takeaway.
My shortest response ever. Modi, demo. Two things.
So Namo meets demo.
Yeah, what else do I tell you? The others are all really small subscripts, like regional parties don't make it, Congress again doing very badly, AAP could do better, is dividing. The big script, Modi, demo.
Quick response from you.
She and I
on the same side. Raj Chengappa.
I love to disagree with him, but
Raj Chengappa, your big takeaway, sir.
Well, clearly, Mr. Modi seems unstoppable.
Yes.
If this is the result that's there.
At the moment.
At the moment.
So let's clarify. UP is the prize.
Yes.
And if you look, I think it's good for India if that is the case, because then you would have a very decisive Modi for the remaining term that he has, 2.5 years. You could see a lot more.
Decisive could mean authoritarian. He will believe tomorrow, I removed the 1,000 rupee note, 500 rupee note, God knows what I'll do next.
I think in these 2.5 years, to be fair to Mr. Modi, he has launched a series of campaigns and schemes that are important for the country.
Like the Ujjwala scheme. Many believe that the scheme giving LPG and kerosene to women has made a difference in states.
And there's a whole range of them. So I think it strengthens, gives him a lot more elbow room, strengthens his resolve. He can take, you know,
you could have a majority in the Rajya Sabha. The BJP could be in a majority in the Rajya Sabha if these numbers hold. Till 2018. Middle of 2018, they could have a majority. But Sharat Pradhan, you're about to leave us because Yogendra Yadav will be joining us.
Yeah.
But your sense, your big takeaway?
Well, while agreeing with Manisha, what she said, it's been a Modi-centric election once again. If this is correct. And you know what where we journalists have been proved wrong. We were all predicting a hung assembly, which is not happening.
No, hold on. This is as per the exit poll. Journalists could be proven more right than us.
If this is right,
worry.
Big if.
If this is right.
If this is right.
It's the Modi factor at work.
It's the Modi factor at work. And it has also been proved that all the, the claims being made by other parties in terms of caste and creed and other things, everything else has been...
Okay, so there's a new type of politics that
new type of politics that
Dipankar Gupta, I'm looking at 5 states, not just at Uttar Pradesh here. Is there a trend that you see emerging?
The trend that is emerging is that there's no trend. And that is very interesting. There's a larger story, of course, which we can talk about. But the fact of the matter is that Modi's victory, if he wins the way he is predicted to win, Congress victory, if that happens too, then these two results will have a lasting impact on Indian politics. even though in one state BJP is winning, in other state Congress, the context in both these cases are so different that overall it'll mean a lot to the understanding of politics in our country. And also, if AAP does half as well as we think is going to do, that again is a huge lesson for Indian political scientists.
Okay, Dipankar Gupta is also going to be leaving us. Ashok Malik will replace him. My producers will replace them as they go. But Javed Ansari, your big takeaway.
Big endorsement for Mr. Modi, big endorsement for demonetization, but I think it's not a very bad scenario for the Congress. They've regained Punjab, they've retained Manipur. They were never in the running for Uttar Pradesh. I know Mr. Balla will disagree.
No, so you don't think if these numbers hold, there will be a chorus within the Congress that Rahul Gandhi, if these numbers hold, that Rahul Gandhi's strategy for the key state has failed, we should question his leadership.
No, why? They were never in the running in Uttar Pradesh as it is. They were never. They were the fourth player. They remain the fourth player.
Do you really believe that that this
Does anybody really believe that the Congress party was a serious contender? This was the best case scenario. They tried for an alliance with the BSP. That didn't happen. They went for the second best option, which was Samajwadi Party. That didn't work.
Right. Okay. Let's, we're trying to get the big picture at the moment because these are fascinating numbers that have been thrown up today by an exit poll. And remember, another googly has been thrown up by Akhilesh Yadav, who has said Mayawati is his bua and I have no problem if possible to tie up with a Mayawati. So clearly at every level, lots of little interesting nuggets are emerging in this election at the moment. Let me go to Yogendra Yadav. Yogendra Yadav, you're joining us wearing the hat of a cephalogist and Swaraj Abhiyan. Ashok Malik also joining us. But these numbers, are they stunning you at the moment? Are we heading for a possible tsunami? Is Narendra Modi now the magic man of Indian politics? 251 to 279 is what we are predicting.
If that is the case, then of course it's a very, very big victory. It's a personal endorsement. It's a major political victory. And it would mean BJP's dominance reaches a new level. I'm not entirely sure though, and I should spell out the reasons.
Yes.
When I used to be on the other side, I used to laugh at these politicians and say, why are they quarreling with numbers? It makes no sense. So I wouldn't, because it's based on a certain method. All I would point out is the following. Number one, there are 4 or 5 other channels, and in all those estimates, some of which I rely upon, one of them done by Professor Sandeep Shastri, no other channel has actually given anything close to that.
Today's Chanakya, I want to put it, today's Chanakya is giving 285 and we are giving post 250. Everyone else is giving in the range of 170 to 200 and a tight race.
Rajdeep,
I agree. So every analysis I give today could be reversed 48 hours from now. I agree.
As you know, I don't work for CSDS anymore, and therefore now I can say I trust their figures more than anything else.
Okay.
They've done a post-poll survey which shows it's a much closer contest. That doesn't change the entire picture. We see exit polls are very useful. They give us a sense. But today's exit polls, I must say I have not learnt very much from. The only thing I've learnt from is about Uttarakhand. We seem to have now a clearly limited range of possibility of what's going to happen in Uttarakhand. On Punjab, I would honestly say I would still trust in good old-fashioned journalist intuition more than the exit polls.
And my intuition in Punjab is that the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress are in a tight race. It could go either way, and don't even rule out a hung assembly.
And the fact is that all exit polls in the past have underestimated Aam Aadmi Party. So, and the situation is such that I would really honestly not read anything except the fact that Akali's BJPs are headed for a rout.
You believe that?
Of course they're headed for a rout. It's a post-emergency kind of a situation for them. That's the only thing we know about Punjab. I would really say to your viewers, and I'm boosting your popularity and boosting your viewership, Rajdeep. I'm just saying to your viewers, please wait for 11th. On Punjab, please don't conclude anything. Similarly for UP, all we know is BJP has bounced big way from 2012. That's a reasonable conclusion to draw. We don't know where they've come. It may be, though it's a slightly risky thing, but I think we can say that BSP has slipped to the 3rd place. That's a reasonable conclusion to draw. Beyond that, I really would want us to wait for the 11th. Historically, all exit polls, except 2 or 3 in the last 15 years, have systematically overestimated BJP by anything from 25 to 50 seats in Uttar Pradesh. I rechecked my data. That's always been the case. They have underestimated BSP, though not always the SP. So let's wait. We'll get the fuller picture.
No, this is only a teaser. This is an appetizer.
Yes.
We are only
As long as
providing
we
you the
see that.
appetizer, and it may turn out to be an appetizer that may give me indigestion come 2 days from now. But Ashok Malik, welcome. You've been traveling around and now joining us. Your sense with these numbers, will this is beyond the BJP's wildest imagination. Will they take these numbers tonight? Will Amit Shah sleep well? Or will he be worried that Rajdeep Sardesai is predicting 250 plus something? Kuch to golmaal hoga.
There's a conspiracy.
He should be worried.
He should be worried. What does it show?
Rajdeep, in a three-way fight, if you get 36% of the vote share, you are headed for a landslide.
Yes.
Of course, if you get 32% of the vote share, as some other channels are predicting, then you're not headed for a landslide. Then it's a much tighter race. I think, as Yogendra says, let's wait for the 11 to see the final numbers, because there's a huge difference between under 200 and 250 and in terms of making our assessments. But what we can say is the BJP's turnaround in UP in 2014 was because of the Narendra Modi factor. That factor substantially has still held even in an assembly election where the BJP doesn't have a local face and strong regional leaders, where a prime minister has led a campaign, which was the case with Nehru and Indira many years ago, but we haven't seen it in a long time. A prime minister leading a assembly campaign. And even in an assembly campaign, the worst exit poll is giving him 170 seats, which means his base for 2019 is very solid, if not entirely intact.
So it is about Narendra Modi. If these numbers hold, it is Modi rather than the BJP, right? It
Yes.
is Namo and Demo. More than Demo, it's Namo.
I would go to the extent of saying that if the Aaj Tak Indiatoday opinion poll is right, and if the BJP actually wins 230 or whatever it is, 250 seats, then it would be a bigger electoral achievement for Narendra Modi than even 2014.
No, that's an interesting point. Do you believe that? Do you believe this would be a bigger achievement, winning Rajchenggappa, compared to 2014, if Modi wins such a big margin?
In UP.
In UP? Or do you believe that?
I think 2014 by itself was outstanding, okay? I wouldn't compare the two, except to say what Ashok and Yogendra has been saying, that in terms, it's an endorsement. The fact that he hasn't lost much, he had 300 seats if you take the assembly sort of segments that were there in the 2014 elections. He's retained that in not only this poll and some other poll that you quoted. And I think if you look at it, the voters seems to have gone for a decisive mandate in these cases. In each of them, they don't seem to be, except in one or two assemblies. Demonetization and the gambit that he took showed clearly that he was able to break all this caste and other communal issues. They didn't have a Muslim candidate in UP. As Ashok says, he pitched himself into the entire process. Was a mandate for him in that sense. So this is outstanding if it's really if it's true.
I don't know if Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi is with us. Rajya Sabha MP, Congressman Abhishek Manu Singhvi, program after program, over the last few weeks, congressmen have come and said demonetization, terrible idea. If these numbers are right, it would appear that demonetization, far from being terrible, is actually working in Mr. Modi's favor. We don't know if it's working in his favor. It certainly hasn't worked against him. There's no evidence that shows, if these numbers hold, that demonetization is an issue which has hurt the BJP. Would you concede that if our exit poll is right, Dr. Singhvi?
Rajdeep, I hope you'll permit me my 2 minutes. There is no question of not conceding it. If these figures are correct, then I don't think anybody can say that this is not a scintillating victory for Mr. Modi and a validation of demonetization. But the crucial core question remains, are these figures anywhere near correct? And I want to make 3 or 4 very quick points, Rajdeep. Would ask you to rewind to 2009, how wrong the exit polls were. In particular in Bihar, you gave us, not you, I mean exit polls generally, 110 and 115. We got 180 in the Gathbandhan there. So exit polls can be grievously wrong. They are not even gospel truth. They are not anywhere near truth frequently. Second and more important, I have not in the recent past, Rajdeep, and I think your experts there know better, seen so much divergence within exit polls as this time. It's a very interesting point. If you see exit polls first across each state and then across different states, there is a huge divergence. And that itself shows the danger of relying so much on exit polls. That is unique to this election, more so than 2014, more so than 2009 when you got it wrong, more so than Bihar when you got it wrong.
Okay, wait, so we didn't get PR wrong, but
I think you are
so we didn't get PR wrong. You can get the number of
youth.
seats. This is not an arithmetic sum. It's about picking a trend. Now it could well be that the BJP ends with 50 seats less.
Of you. When I say you, I don't mean.
Yes.
No. 1 minute, Rajdeep. Let me complete, please.
Yes.
Obviously, when I say you, I don't mean you personally. I mean that don't go by exit polls. You are at least almost 180 seats more, apart from Chanakya, than other exit polls. And that's a very important revealing point.
I take your caveat,
There are exit polls which are giving ranges in UP.
Sir,
and the lowest range given is 155 to the BJP.
Sir, I take your caveat.
It's also being ignored that the youth factor is very hugely solidly behind us. And let me end by saying this. It is no doubt that this is a Modi election. Just like you say winning, yes. And what happens if he loses? It will still be a Modi election. Mr. Modi would have lost.
Absolutely.
Because the figures of 2014, the last benchmark, would be equally reversed against him this time. Because it is he who went for that election, and it is against him that the vote would be this time. If it went significantly below 2014, which is the last benchmark, not necessarily 2012.
I will take your point. Sambit Patra, quick response from you. You're smiling like the cat who's licked the cream today. But remember, the cream only comes on the 11th. So don't get overexcited, Sambit. But is this conforming to your judgment, or do you believe we've given you too many seats?
No, Rajdeep, I have firm faith on the credibility of your channel and the credibility of the agency that your channel must have hired for this exit.
That's because I've given you such high numbers. Had I given you 150, you would have said, I don't trust your poll one bit. Sambit Patra, you move with the wind.
No, not at all.
You're a chameleon.
Not at all. Not at all. In fact, I had been to channels which gave us 176. And over there also, I argued accordingly, did not question their credibility. But since I'm sitting on your channel with the figures in hand, let's debate on the figures. And naturally, when I go to the other channels, I'll debate on their figures. Now, on this figure, the biggest takeaway of me is, my biggest takeaway is, this would be an epoch-making change in India's national polity. And why do I say so? I say so because, look, Uttar Pradesh is the bastion of Indian politics. And for the first time after years, one of the national political parties of the country would be in the reign of affairs of Uttar Pradesh. For the first time, we would be controlling the reins of Uttar Pradesh. It was Congress party long back. They held on Uttar Pradesh, and today, after many years, it would be Bharatiya Janata Party. So definitely this would change for all times to come the polity of the country. And as far as election is concerned,
you have ruled Uttar Pradesh in the past, but I take your point. Sir, I take your point. And
Modi. Everyone is talking about Modi. This itself shows that it is.
Okay, it's everything, it's all about Modi. Okay, we will wait and see. So if there's a defeat by any chance, then it will also be about Mr. Modi. I hope we are clear about that. But Raghav Chadda, since the Aam Aadmi Party now joins us, mixed fortunes for you at the moment, because clearly in Punjab you're emerging stronger, but our exit poll is saying you're number 2. And in Goa, you're not making a breakthrough. What does it signify for Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party, Raghav Chadda? If these numbers hold, will it be a major setback to your aims to grow beyond Delhi?
So, Mr. Sardesai, 5 exit polls have come out this evening, out of which 2 give a clear majority to Aam Aadmi Party, 2 say that Aam Aadmi Party and Congress are neck to neck, and 1 says that the Congress is winning Punjab. That is your exit poll. I think less than 40 hours are left. Results will be clear. Let's wait. I have a feeling, and my assessment is that Aam Aadmi Party will get more than 2/3 majority, and I have reasons to believe, looking at the exit polls and the opinion polls done in Delhi 2013 elections and Delhi 2015 elections, that Aam Aadmi Party is consistently undervalued by pollsters, and it raises a larger question on the credibility of polls and the accountability of pollsters. Number 2,
back to
as
now,
far as
you are back now to calling us Bikau. My worry is that if the poll goes wrong, if our poll goes wrong, you will call me Bikau. A poll can go wrong.
Well, that's my view. That's my view, Mr. Sardesai, that's my view. I've put forward my view. Just let me complete my point.
Yes.
Now, as far as your question regarding Aam Aadmi Party's politics, our national ambitions, etc. is concerned, my view is that if Aam Aadmi Party wins Punjab, it will mean that that the people of Punjab and the people of India are looking for a political alternative, and wherever there is, a BJP versus Congress direct fight, and if in that contest a new political alternative like the Aam Aadmi Party enters, people would prefer that alternative, the clean politics.
That's an interesting point.
Number two, the Congress is certainly becoming irrelevant as far as national politics is concerned. Congress is, I would say, is set on a journey from irrelevance to extinction if they lose Punjab, and that is a big opportunity for Aam Aadmi Party. And lastly, let me say this, that as far as the Congress party is concerned, whether you look at the elections in Haryana, whether you look at the state elections of Maharashtra, whether you look at the BMC elections of Maharashtra, whether you look at the municipal elections of Chandigarh, Congress is a very convenient opposition for the BJP. Rahul Gandhi is perhaps the biggest asset that Mr. Modi has, and therefore they are happy with Congress as an opposition. Aam Aadmi Party gives them real challenge. We are a formidable challenger, and that is why they use every trick in the book to stop us.
Let's come to that. Is this about the Congress facing possible irrelevance or lingering death, and the Aam Aadmi Party, if it wins Punjab, will emerge as the next big challenger to the Congress? Do you believe that theory that Raghav Chadha is propagating? That this election, if they don't win Punjab and lose UP, is that for the Congress yet another nail in their coffin?
No.
Which is why Punjab is becoming so important in this election.
Aam Aadmi's emergence in Punjab, I think, is something which will be visibly seen either as the leading opposition or as the ruling party. But I think one important point about the Congress, which our exit poll seems to show, is in the two states where they are projected to do well in our exit poll, be it Punjab or be it Manipur, the success there is because of the state level leaders they have in the two states, be it Amrinder Singh or be it Ibu
So Rahul Gandhi gets...
Whereas in the case of the BJP, the success of the BJP in the three states we are talking about, be it Uttar Pradesh, be it Goa, or Uttaranchal, all three are linked to the national leadership because they have not projected a chief minister face there.
Interesting. I mean, is the logic of this that Rahul Gandhi should take early retirement? I mean, are we saying if these numbers hold, that Rahul Gandhi should take voluntary retirement? He's tied up with Akhilesh. Our numbers are saying the Congress will be 10 to 15 seats only in UP. Now that's a decimation again, even in an alliance. Where does that leave Rahul Gandhi if these numbers are right? Is it important, therefore, critical for him to win Punjab? If he wins Punjab, then Rahul Gandhi can claim, look, I've got one state. But if he doesn't win Punjab and loses UP, will questions be raised, Javed Ansari, about Rahul Gandhi or not?
Look, nobody realistically expected them to win Uttar Pradesh. If he does win Punjab, they will live to fight another day. If they do not win Punjab, then
what Raghav Chadha is saying is possible in the next elections in Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh.
The AAP will be breathing down the Congress party's neck in Rajasthan, and they will be breathing down the BJP's neck in Gujarat. They will be the challengers, not the Congress party.
Quick point.
One thing to say. Now, you can't waive all responsibility of the Congress in UP. The Congress fought 100 seats in UP. It was expected to consolidate the Muslim vote along with the Samajwadi Party against the BJP. It was expected to get some upper caste and urban middle class vote away from the BJP into the SP Congress alliance. If indeed these numbers are correct, then that has not happened. And you can't say that the Congress was not expected to do well anyway, so it doesn't matter. Because the Congress has to...
So therefore there will be a serious existential crisis facing the Congress. But I come back to Modi. Can I come to Mr. Modi?
No, because one point on
yes,
that.
quick point on the Congress and then I'll go to Mr. Modi.
In the 2014 election, without the alliance, the Congress gained 15 seats. If they now get less than 15 after joining SP, I think is devastating critique.
Okay, so you would put VRS for
I just put a caveat to all this.
Yes.
Okay. The story could reverse itself. Supposing, for instance, our polls are wrong, and
suppose it's a hung assembly in UP,
it's a hung assembly,
and Akhilesh Yadav goes to his Bua Mayawati and said, let's start and keep Modi out.
They get Punjab, they get Manipur. There is a hung assembly in Goa.
Hung assembly in Goa.
And who knows what happens in Uttarakhand? You'll reverse the story and say, wow, this is a revival.
Sir, this is 24/7 TV. You're only right for the moment.
Never wrong for long. I think he's absolutely right.
Yes.
Equivalently, if this poll holds out, that's the question being asked.
I'm asking, right. Can I come back to Mr. Modi for a moment? Can I come back to Mr. Modi? Yogendra Yadav, if these polls hold, is this Narendra Modi's Indira Gandhi moment? He brings in bank demonetization, wins election after election. It's not just this. BMC across Maharashtra, Odisha, the BJP has grown. every election since November, the BJP seems to be growing. So if he wins this, does it make him, in a sense, in the same position that Indira Gandhi was in the early 70s?
Not just for Mr. Modi, for the country it becomes Indira Gandhi moment in many ways, positive and negative.
Yes.
And which is what we are actually drifting towards in many, many positive ways, many negative ways as well.
Yes.
If Bihar was a major setback for Mr. Modi, then a victory in Uttar Pradesh will obviously be a boost for him. I don't think it will be because of demonetization, but the fact that someone could get away with something as big as demonetization and it could neutralize it at least would be seen as a very major advantage.
So is it a victory for Modi or a defeat for the opposition? If these numbers hold, does it show that the opposition is vacuous, or does it show that Narendra Modi is a magic man in this country?
If it's 260 plus, then of course it's both. It is a victory for Mr. Modi and it's a bankruptcy of the opposition. But I've been arguing for quite some time that what we have witnessed from 2014 onwards is a complete bankruptcy of anti-BJP politics.
Yeah.
And in the statement that I see from Mr. Akhilesh this evening, it reinforces the same sense. That they are trying to erect a grand anti-Modi alliance. I have argued people don't like it, but any grand anti-Modi alliance will in the medium and the long run strengthen Mr. Modi, and we again have an Indira Gandhi moment.
In Bihar. Hold on. In Bihar that was not the case.
I know in the Bihar that was not the case. I'm saying for the country, and this is we are headed for 2019. If opposition is thinking of a grand anti-Modi alliance, this actually strengthens Mr. Modi in the national alliance. So
Ashok
that's
Malik,
what we are moving.
Ashok Malik, there are those who believe that the only way that Mr. Modi's juggernaut can be stopped is a Mahagathbandhan, which is why Akhilesh Yadav, maybe belatedly, suddenly calling Mayawati Bua.
See, well, there are two things here. One, the Panchayat elections in Odisha, the municipal elections in Maharashtra,
yes,
the assembly elections in UP, if these numbers are correct, then let me enter that caveat, are all very different elections. They can't all be referendums on demonetization and Mr. Modi. It's not possible. What they do suggest is there's a certain surge for the BJP. The BJP as an electoral machine is very hungry and very sort of...
So Amit Shah wants to have every state like he has dhoklas in the morning. He wants to have every state for breakfast.
There's one more thing I'd like to
Because Amit Shah is the big winner. If these numbers
I agree.
This is Amit Shah at work. Social engineering.
He would have made up for Bihar. There's one more thing I'd like to point out. If you look at some of the BJP's interesting victories since 2014 in the states. In Haryana, it beat the Chautalas. In Maharashtra, it beat the Shiv Sena. Here, if these numbers are correct, it would have beaten regional parties. A national party regaining regional turf at the expense of regional parties. This is fairly new.
That's interesting. Before I take a break, the one caveat, the one disturbing note for the BJP in what could be a successful date on the 11th is what's happening in Punjab. You're down to 4-7. Mr. Cheema of the, Daljit Singh Cheema of the Shiromani Akali Dal, its education minister, joining us. It appears that the Modi factor, sir, cannot even propel you up in Punjab, which means if our numbers are right, people are not just angry with you, they hate you. They want you out of power at all costs. If you're 4-7, this is the worst ever defeat that the Akali Dal, sir, could be facing.
The finding of the exit poll.
Yes.
And even today there are different exit polls on different channels. And another channel, ABP, which has telecasted the survey by CSDS.
Yes.
They have shown 19 to 27 seats to the SAD-BJP alliance. So there is a large gap between
even then you're
your
number 3
survey and the. But the actual figures which will come out on 11th,
yes,
that will be entirely different.
Okay, we'll wait and see. So the Akali Dal is clutching at straws, sir. If you're looking at a poll which is giving you 18 to 20 out of 117 after 2 years, 2 terms in power, maybe people are just tired of you, sir. Maybe, sir, if the numbers hold and want change.
I think the media is more tired than the people.
Okay.
Because it's the first time that the people of the state, they have witnessed a triangular contest.
Okay, we'll see how the triangular contest plays out,
sir. We are having a two-party system.
I take your point, sir. I want to take a break.
We have performed very, very better way.
So we'll leave it there.
Let me take a break. Different.
I'm going to stop you, sir. We're going to take a break and I'm going to then look at the 5 big takeaways. Remember, this is only on the 9th. We don't know what the 11th will bring, but that's the nature of journalism. All of us may have to eat all the words that we have said in the last 30 minutes. That's the nature of an exit poll. It's like the prelims where you don't have to really score because the final exam is only on the 11th. Here you could get first class or you could get pass class and still get away with it. Back in a moment with our 5 big takeaways on Exit Poll 2017. Welcome back. This is the time in the evening where we look for our exit route. Because in an exit poll, what if it goes wrong? Where will we be left? So we're giving you the 4 X factors that could go wrong with this exit poll and that could change things dramatically. What could they be? Uttar Pradesh, BJP's landslide victory at the moment as per our poll is primarily hinging on an anti-Yadav, non-Yadav OBC vote, sweeping the BJP. 60% and more as per our exit poll are supporting the BJP. So that's one. If that changes, who knows? If Mayawati does better, it could become a tighter contest in UP. In Punjab, the vote difference, even as per our exit poll, is within the margin of error. It's just 2%. Either way, if it swings, AAP could be number 1 and Congress could be number 2. Amrinder Singh, please stop that whiskey on the rocks that you're about to have. Goa, X factor. If the AAP performance is even poorer than projected, the Congress could gain, particularly in South Goa with the Catholic-dominated seats. The margin could get tighter. Goa could throw up a hung assembly, as Raj Chengappa suggested. Manipur, there is a strong anti-incumbency. There has been a high voter turnout in parts. That could hurt Ibobi Singh and the Congress. So those are the X factors, the caveats that I wanted to give. But I want to ask you, gentlemen, if there is one big thing that you would look forward to come the 11th, Sandeep Shastri, quickly, what is it that we should be looking forward to on the 11th? What will you be looking forward to most?
On 11th, I would be looking forward to, I will be looking at the emerging vote share of the SP and the BJP in Uttar Pradesh, because I believe the huge margin our exit poll talks about is something which may actually not play out, and that a smaller vote difference is something that could create a hung assembly in UP.
It could. So you are not ruling out a hung assembly in UP.
The other 4 states, I think our poll has gone more or less as per the trend. But UP, which I think is the huge clincher, there may be a much tighter race in that state. And that is because the vote share between the 2 major players is much.
So you think that the real drama will take place on 11th morning in UP? Surjit Balla, very quickly.
I would look for vote shares of AAP and Congress in all the states. For any revelation of big picture upsets, etc., look at those 2 vote shares.
So you believe if the Congress vote share starts declining, it will confirm your view that the Congress is ceasing to be a serious national player.
And same thing about AAP.
And that AAP, either way, could either emerge as a credible alternative
either it goes
or
up.
it collapses further. Yeah. Manisha Priyam, what are you going to be looking forward to?
I personally am going to be looking forward to smaller numbers for the BJP and Mr. Modi in BJP. Let there be space for talk about some alternative politics, some diversity. Let that whole pluralism of the political space be discussed. That's my personal opinion. It's pitted versus Mr. Gupta's.
You've already said demo and namo. Now you're talking of plurality.
X factor.
Come on.
X factor. What could change?
You said the one moment when I could talk about what I want to see, this is what I want to see.
You want to see more pluralism, more?
I saw what Mr. Gupta had to put on the picture. I said what was coming out of it.
Okay.
And if you ask me, this is my clear picture.
Raj?
Well, I think it's going to be a decisive moment for the country.
Yes.
And I'd look forward to, firstly, UP, because I think that's the prize. And the margin of victory, if either BJP wins or the SP does, I'm still keeping wide open on that front. If the BJP does win, let us also be very clear, with the kind of majority that Mr. Modi might get, we might have called it an Indira Gandhi moment. But if you look back at history, within 2 years, Mrs. Gandhi fell. By 73, she was in deep trouble. By 75, she imposed an emergency. So there is a lesson in history that a mere huge win in UP does not mean that Mr. Modi is unstoppable. There are many assembly, and may I finish?
Yes.
There are issues. If this, if these voters gave Mr. Modi the mandate, there was for a reason. They believed in demonetization would help and change things. So it cannot be a full stop. He has to proceed with cleaning up the country, one. Second, he must deliver on jobs. If he doesn't deliver on that, very soon these great victories can, as Mrs. Gandhi found, turn sour.
Interesting. And that's a good point on which I have to take to... No, sir. I have to take it to Sambit Patra. I have to give equal time. I know, Dr. Bala, you're dying to say... Sambit Patra, is Mr. Modi invincible, as the BJP seems to believe? Or even in victory, will you all be humble? Should you win and should these results come true?
Rajdeep, we should always be humble, and in all my humility, let me just sum up in a very small sentence. You know, if you see what is the basis of this whole debate, why Mr. Modi is winning. Someone asked me yesterday, "Jameen par kaun hai? Aapki jameen kaise hai?" I told, "Jameen par Modi hai," because Ja in Hindi would stand for Jajba, the hunger with which one fights. Ma stands for Mehnat, the amount of hard work. And you would all agree that Mr. Modi has redefined the hard work that anyone can put it in Indian polity. And Na for Niyat, that is intention. Demonetization, if you can go for academic debates and discussions.
You are learning from Mr. Modi. I told you yesterday, Mr. Modi was once a spokesperson who became Prime Minister. At this rate, you also might do that. I told you, if you start using these acronyms, one day, like Mr. Modi, you will become Chief Minister of Odisha and then the Prime Minister of the country.
You might just cost him his job.
Are you his friend?
Let me complete my point.
Yes, quickly.
Let me complete my point. Quickly. I have no intentions of becoming anything.
Yes.
Na stands for Niyat, that is intention. And intention, I mean to say that, look, people will not go into the academics of demonetization. They know and they realize the intention of the Prime Minister, and that was a noble intention of the Prime Minister.
Sir, but there are serious questions like jobs and all which Raj Chengappa has raised, which hopefully also will be addressed in the coming days. Farmer suicides, which the likes of Yogendra Yadav have raised, agrarian distress. 30 seconds each, gentlemen. I literally have 30 seconds. Starting with you, Javed Ansari. What's the one thing that we should still be looking forward to?
The one thing is this huge, formidable social alliance that Mr. Modi has built. If in the first round there's been a division in Jat votes, the numbers could come down.
The numbers could come down. So you're going to be looking at how that Jat votes. But the bigger picture, Ashok Malik, what are you going to be looking at?
I'll look at two things. One, to what degree, irrespective of how many seats the BJP wins, to what degree does Modi hold on to his base in UP? That is important for 2019.
Yeah, remember, he won 328, he was leading in 328 assembly segments, so and he had 270 would be a come down.
42% of the vote. So to what degree does he hold on for 2019? He will lose seats, no doubt, but to what degree does he hold on? Second, the Congress had two tests in this election. One was to somehow stop the Modi juggernaut in UP, in alliance with the SP, and second, to win Punjab. To what degree does it achieve that?
Okay, quick last word from you, Yogendra Yadav. What's the one thing you're looking forward to? And don't tell me it's an AAP win in Punjab.
It's a result. All I can say is that actually in 4 out of these 5 states, we really don't know what's happening.
4 out of 5, you think?
Yes. Uttarakhand is the only state where we have a clear sense of where things are headed.
Yes.
In the other 4, I would actually look for result. But on a more substantive plane, I would look for, does it do anything to the state of governance in any of these 5 states? My preliminary answer is, unfortunately, no matter what the end product of this horse race is, nothing is changing in the state of governance because none of the key issues actually came up during elections at all.
But many will say, Ummeed par duniya kayam hai, and people live by hope. And maybe that's one of the reasons why they are voting in the way they are. They hope for a better tomorrow. Whether that tomorrow comes or not, whether the roads will get better, whether electricity will come, whether farmer suicides will end, whether jobs will come, that we leave for another day. And another day that we leave is the 11th. We start at 6 a.m. in the morning and we will carry forward through the day before we decide who wins the war for thrones. To all my panelists in the studio, those who joined us outside, thank you very much. And I keep reiterating, this is only an exit poll. It's time for the real thing. Saturday morning, this is the place to be. India Today TV for the war for thrones. Thanks for watching. Jo Jeeta, wo Sikandar.